Hello students, welcome back. Today we are going to discuss the second module of our chapter, The Most Beautiful Thing. By the end of today's class, you will be able to appreciate a story with a message, to get the meaning of word from the context, to read and comprehend the story. The chapter name is The Most Beautiful Thing. In the last class, we discussed part 1 of the story. In this story, we can see the queen who is not happy. She is feeling bored. In order to make the queen happy, every person in the palace is trying to do something to make her happy. But she is not interested in all that thing. She announced a contest to her kingdom. Those who bring the most beautiful thing will be the winner of the contest. And the prize for the winner is her crown. Whoever heard the news was very surprised. Everyone tried hard to get the prize. Now let's see what will happen. Will anybody win the game? Who will be the winner? Will the queen be happy? Now, shall we move on to our chapter? Before going on to the lesson, let's listen to some unfamiliar word which you may feel a little bit difficult to understand. Now let's see what the words are. So the first word is muttered. To speak quietly and in low voice that is not easy to hear, often as if talking to oneself. Next word is astonished. Greatly surprised or impressed, amazed. Astonished, great surprise. Here you can see a picture. This is called royal carriage. In olden days, kings and queen used to travel in this one. It's called royal carriage. Sparkled, shine brightly with flashes of lights. Sparkled, shine brightly with flashes of light. Now let's move on to the story. This is hopeless, she muttered. Not quite hopeless, Your Majesty. The queen sat up, wondering who spoke. A bearded man stood behind the palace guard. You can end your search now, Your Highness. The queen raised an eyebrow. Have you brought me the most beautiful thing? She asked the man. So, as we already have discussed, many people were there in the palace to show the most beautiful thing. But the queen was disappointed in all that thing. So she says that she is muttering, saying herself. What is she saying? This is hopeless. So she heard a voice. It says that not quite hopeless, Your Majesty. So the queen sat up from her chair and she was searching who gave that answer. So she find out an old man with a long beard. He came and said that you have to stop searching for the most beautiful thing. And the queen asked, so you have brought that thing which is most beautiful in this world? Now let's see what is the old man giving answer. What answer is he giving? The man laughed. Not I, nor anyone here. I have waited here for 2 days to tell you that the most beautiful thing cannot be brought to you. You must go to it. The queen was astonished. She asked, what do you mean? But the man was gone. The queen's advisor said, "Do not bother yourself about what he said, Your Majesty." See, what was the answer that man gave? He laughed and he said, "I cannot bring, nor anyone cannot bring the most beautiful thing to your kingdom." And he says that he was waiting there to tell this to the queen for 2 days. And he says that the most beautiful thing cannot be brought to your palace. Instead, you have to go near it. When she heard that, she was surprised. She asked, "What do you mean? What do you mean by this?" But what happened? By that time, the man disappeared from that. The man was not there. He disappeared. So the queen's advisor came and said, "Don't bother about that, Your Majesty. Don't think about that. You cannot, why is the need of going out? No need of that. The most beautiful thing will be brought here." But the queen had an idea. Sent everyone home, pointing to the people still waiting in line. "I must prepare for a trip." The advisor was surprised. "A trip? Where to?" he asked. The queen smiled and said, "Elsewhere." All arrangements were made. The queen was so excited that she wore her best dress and her crown for the journey. The crowd cheered as the royal carriage moved out of the palace gates. We can see that after the man disappeared, the advisor was saying, "No need of bothering about that." But the queen got some idea. She said to the advisor, "You have to send every people in this palace who is standing in the line now itself. And I am preparing for a trip. I am going for a trip." What happened to the advisor? The advisor was surprised and he asked, "A trip? And you are going to where?" What did the queen do? She gave a smile and said, "Elsewhere." All arrangements were made. The arrangement for queen's trip was made. The queen was so excited and she wore her best dress and her crown for the journey. And what happened when her royal carriage, it moved out of the gate, all the people, the crowd, the people cheered for the queen. The queen was not sure what she was seeking or where to find it. But as her carriage rolled a hill, she looked back at the palace. The setting sun sparkled between the white towers. The scene looked like something out of a storybook. "Why have I never seen my home this way before?" she wondered. Now, when the queen came out of her palace, she was not sure what was she looking for or where she was going and where will she find the most beautiful thing. She had no idea. But as her carriage was going down the hill, she looked back to her palace. The sun was setting and the sparkle, the flashes of light, it was coming in between the white towers of her palace. It was very amazing scene to watch. The scene looked like something out of a storybook. It looked as pretty as a picture in a storybook. So she was wondering, why have I never seen my home this way before? She wondered. She was wondered when she saw her beautiful house sparkling in the light of the sun. She was thinking herself, why haven't I ever seen my home like this? So, my students, we are stopping here. In the next class, we will be discussing the remaining part of the story, and I want you all to read the story once again. Thank you, students. Thank you for watching.